The next big update for Dune Awakening is almost here, and if you're not prepared, you might miss out on a huge head start. Today I'm breaking down the 8 essential things you need to do right now to be ready. Alright, first on our list, let's talk about stockpiling essential resources and materials. By this, I mean all the rare crafting materials you can get your hands on. Spice, water, vehicle parts, and anything that might become scarce after the update. Why? Because with every major update in games like Dune Awakening, things change, sometimes drastically. New items get added, crafting recipes shift, and what's easy to find now might become a grind later. I know a lot of you already have a stash of materials, but this is the perfect time to top it off. Spice especially. You're going to need plenty of it for late game items coming with a new patch. Fill all your containers with water, because mass production will require it. And for vehicle parts, you can either craft them now or grab them from Imperial stations. Just remember, these stations are likely to change or be replaced in the update. So here's the recap. Gather your rare materials, stock up on spice, fill your water containers, and secure those vehicle parts. Anything that's essential now might not be as available later, so better safe than sorry. Which brings us to the next point on our list, finishing your current contracts and mission. Now, I know many of you have already cleared most of them, but some of you still have a few lingering in your log. And here's why this is so important. The upcoming patch is bringing new contracts and missions, and some of the old ones might directly connect to them. If you leave them unfinished, you could run into issues or even miss out on rewards when the update hits. Also, many of these contracts gives valuable XP and items, and you don't want to be stuck wondering whether to keep or destroy old mission items in your inventory like we all did when Dune Awakening first launched. Clear them now or not, it's your decision, while you have the time, so your inventory is clean and your progression is ready for what's next. So take a moment to go through your storyline, finish those outstanding contracts, and make sure you start the new patch with a clean slate. Now this next point might sound obvious to some of you, but it's more important than ever. Upgrade your gear, your vehicles, and make sure your base is ready. I know many of you have already maxed out your weapons and armor, but if you haven't, now's the time. The update is bringing new areas to the deep desert, including the Imperial stations they teased, plus new events. Right now it's still relatively easy to farm high-end late-game materials in PvE zones without the risk of being ambushed by players. Take advantage of that, get your upgrades done before the changes. And speaking of being prepared, don't forget your base. A lot of players have stepped away for a while, and some of you may have turned off your blood purifiers, fabricators, and even let your base energy drop. If that's you, log back in and get your base secure. Fix any damage, restart your systems, and make sure your storage is protected. You've got just a few days before the update drops. The last thing you want to do is log in to the patch day and find your base in ruins or your gear outdated. Since we're already talked about base, here's something you definitely shouldn't overlook. Make sure your base is ready for what's coming. With the new updates, there's a real chance we'll see new fabricators, generators, and maybe even new types of crafting stations. They've hinted at this before, and if they drop something like a new spice fabricator or even a new tier of building, you're going to need a space for it. So here's my advice, reshape and resize your base now. Don't wait until patch day to start demolishing walls and rearranging your layout. Make sure you've got rooms for new structures, and while you're at it, optimize your storage. I'll be honest, my base has been a mess since day one, and I've been lazy about organizing my containers. But with new items, new resources, and potentially new crafting stations coming, the last thing you want to do is to spend hours just making room for them. So free up space, sort your containers, and get your base ready for mass production when the update lands. Next up, let's talk about exploration, and I know what you're thinking. There aren't that many secrets in the game. And you're right, there aren't tons of hidden Easter eggs in this game, but here's the thing. Every location and point of interest you unlock gives you XP, and that adds up, especially before a major update. By visiting places you've skipped, you'll not only boost your progression, but also get familiar with areas that might change. Updates sometimes reshape the map, add new structures, or rework existing locations. If you haven't unlocked those places now, you might miss out on that XP later, or only get partial rewards for the new version. So take the time before the update to open up your map, visit every unexplored location and mark those key spots. Not only will this give you a small boost now, but when the patch drops, you'll know exactly where to go for new events, resources, and crafting materials. Being a lone wolf has always been fun. We've all been there, doing our own things, exploring on our terms, but right now, before this update, is one of the best times to join a guild or form alliance. Why? Because events, Imperial Station activities, and LD updates contents are always easier when you've got people watching your back. If you're in a guild, you can jump right in on day one, claim rewards faster, tackle group objectives, and experience the new content without feeling left behind. Now, I know some of you prefer to play solo, and that's totally fine. You can wait a few hours or day for the hype to calm down, then explore on your own. But if you've been considering teaming up, even temporarily, this is the time to do it. It'll make the transition into the new patch smoother, and who knows, you might even enjoy the team play more than you expected. Alright, I'll be honest, I've never been good at saving money, not in Dune Awakening, and not in real life either. But if you really want to be ready for the next updates, this might be the most important tip on the list. Big updates almost always shake up the economy. New cosmetics, new vehicles, maybe even DLC content, it's all coming together. And you don't want to blow your Solaris now just to regret it later. I know the temptation is there to grab every shiny items on the market. I feel the same way. But trust me, hold on to your currency for now. And here's a pro tip. If you've got old blueprints or items you're not using, you've only got a few days to sell them before everyone starts dumping their stuff and the market turns into a mess. So be smart, stockpile your Solaris, clear out what you don't need, and be ready to jump on those new deals as soon as the update hits. If you're one of those players who already knows how to play the market, you'll be fine, but for the rest of us, this is our chance to actually start ahead for once. Finally, let's talk about something not many players think about: backing up your important progress. New updates aren't always smooth. Codes change, bugs happen, and sometimes entire bases get wiped or moved because a new POI or structure spawns right where your home used to be. I'm not saying it will happen for sure, but we've all seen what big patches can do. So here's my advice: make a copy of your base loadout, take screenshots or whatever, and secure your key items and blueprints. If there are items you absolutely can't afford to lose, stash them in a safe spot, even if that means putting a small outpost somewhere else or banking them in your ornithopter for a few days. It might feel like overkill, but trust me, if something goes wrong, you will thank me later. And that wraps up our checklist. We've talked about stockpiling essential resources and materials, completing crank contracts and missions, upgrading your gear and vehicles, securing and organizing your base, exploring and discovering key locations, engaging with other players, saving currency and preparing for economy changes, backing up important progress. If you've made it this far, you are clearly serious about getting ready for the update. So hit that subscribe button, like the video, and drop a comment below with what you're doing to prepare. If I see you guys ready and hyped for the update, I will make more videos covering the update for sure. Thanks for watching, much love, and as always, peace out.